Thank you all for coming. The time is now 6:01. We'll be starting at 6:05. I'm trying to give some more students a couple more minutes to come in and attend. But thank you all. We'll be starting at 6:05 sharp. All right, the time is now 6:05, and we're about to get started with the presidential debate. Before we start, as we do everything here at Virginia Union University, we have to lead things off in prayer. So I will ask, can you guys please bow your heads? Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us together tonight as a community united in spirit, purpose, and pride. We ask for your presence to fill this space, guiding our words, our actions, and our hearts. Bless each candidate who stands before us with courage, clarity, and grace. May they represent themselves with integrity and honor, knowing that leadership is a calling and a responsibility. As we celebrate excellence, talent, and vision, remind us of the strength and unity, the beauty and diversity, and the power of student voice. We give you all the glory and ask that tonight be filled with joy, fairness, and inspiration. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. All right, the debate is now starting. Before we get things started, I do want to give some quick housekeeping rules. While a candidate is presenting or answering the questions, please refrain from clapping, making obnoxious noise, or making any noise. Please give the candidate their space and opportunity to clear their hearts and speak, and without any distractions. The candidates, there will be 26 questions asked, and they will be divided into numerous sections. And I, Rodney Manning, will be the moderator. And a little bit about me, I do serve as the 90th Student Government Association president. And now to my left, we have Keyshawn D. Hardy. And to my right, we have Ivy Armstrong Edlow. So before we start, can you guys please give them a round of applause for even making it here? All right. Like I said before, I will be the moderator, so I'll be asking the questions. And before we get things started, we will have opening greetings and welcomings. So we'll start first with Keyshawn D. Hardy.
My fellow students, faculty, and friends, greetings, Panthers. I am Keyshawn D. Hardy, a rising senior hailing from Prince George's County, Maryland, majoring in religious studies. And I am humbly vowing to be your next Student Government Association president for the 2025-2026 academic school year. I am running on the platform Forward. My vision for this campaign is straightforward: assist every student to make sure they thrive, make our campus a place of unity and opportunity, and advocate for a future in which our potential is limitless. With Forward, we are taking bold steps toward a future in which every student is empowered, supported, and prepared for success. My administration will advocate for every student, from those who feel invisible to those who lead the charge. Forward means making student government work for you. It means transparency and accountability and real change. And I believe that the role of SGA president is not to sit at the top, but to be a bridge. Thank you. Let's get started.
Appreciate that, Mr. Hardy. Now we'll be receiving greetings and a welcoming from Ivy Armstrong Edlow.
Thank you, moderator. And greetings to my Panthers, faculty, and staff. My name is Ivy Nicole Armstrong Edlow, a rising junior from the great city of Newport News, Virginia. And I am humbly vying to be the 2025-2026 Student Government Association president. I am running firmly on the platform of Pres Code. The code is campus unity, open communication, diverse engagement, and empowerment. This is not a code just for the position of Student Government Association president, but it is a code for the Student Government Association, faculty, staff, and students. This is a code for everyone, from those seen, not seen, to those heard and unheard. This is for undergraduates, graduates, non-traditionals, and faculty and staff. We would want you to be a part of your campus experience. And thank you so much, Panthers. Let's go, Pres Code.
All right, thank you both. You guys can clap. All right, section one. Section one, we'll be talking about campus improvement and student life. The first question: what policies would you implement to improve campus life? We'll start with Keyshawn D. Hardy.
Sure, thank you, Brother Moderator, for that question. To increase our student life, I have several initiatives and policies that I would like to put in place for the betterment of our institution, starting with academic excellence and a support policy, improve access to study spaces and library hours, and academic materials to ensure that you can study wherever it feels and fits your schedule. Also, I want to create for the student advocacy to create a policy. I've created a task force that gives students a voice in decision-making and ensuring that your opinions shape policies and programs. I'll ensure in my administration all voices will be heard, and I'll be a president for all people. To better understand your concerns, I'll implement monthly surveys to ensure we're meeting your needs and addressing issues properly.
Thank you, Mr. Hardy. Ivy Armstrong Edlow, what policies would you implement to improve campus life?
Thank you so much for that question. The policies that I would implement would simply have to do with collaboration. We have many different student organizations on campus, and I believe we are not utilizing them all, from the psychology club to the mass communications club. I believe that if we can collaborate and work together, there are many things that we can do together on campus, from having public forums to simply having events with PAB. Collaboration is the key to student engagement. Thank you.
Thank you both. Question number 2. How would you address existing living situations for students? We'll start with Keyshawn D. Hardy.
Sure, thank you, Brother Moderator, for that question. how I will address these concerns with our dormitories is making sure that we have an open line of communication with our residential halls, ensuring that we are ensuring our students of the things that are going on and the changes that are being made at our institution. It is important that we improve our communication as students to ensure that we are giving what needs to be done to our students so that we can improve our residential halls and make sure that we are providing them daily updates. In my administration, I'll be sure to provide monthly updates to encourage you and to show you the things that are being done in the residential halls to move us forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Ivy, how would you address existing living situations for students?
Thank you so much for that question. Firstly, I would just like to say thank you to all students for their patience and their support with the current living situation, because as someone who lives on campus, I do understand a struggle that it can be. I would like to firstly say that we are attending a very historic university and that there are certain things that will take time. But we will forever listen to your concerns, and I believe that open communication is something that can be heard. So I am all running on the platform of Press Code, and the O stands for open communication. So communication will be something used for the residence halls, but also I believe that you have a voice, and that if we work directly with residence life, and maybe have more QR codes, things of that nature, where you can directly speak to your people about the specific issues that you're having, I believe that that is something that we can do to move forward with the residence hall issue. Thank you.
Thank you both. Question number 3. In what ways will you enhance organizational support to ensure campus organizations succeed? Starting with Brother Hardy.
Thank you, brother, for that question. To improve our student representation, and to your question, we have to, in my administration, we will provide additional funding and resources to support student clubs and organizations, ensuring that they have the tools to thrive and create meaningful campus events so that we can create and push our student engagement forward. Because if we cannot tackle the student engagement part, then our students are going to lose focus in us. And so that we have to make sure that we are supporting them, that we are pushing them forward. And I want to say today, I thank God for each and every one of you that are here today, because it shows that you're supporting, your care for our institution, and it shows that you are willing to push our institution forward, and I'll be sure to push us forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hardy. Ivy, in what ways will you enhance organizational support to ensure campus organizations succeed?
Thank you so much for that question. As some of you may know, I am running on the platform of Press Code, and that D stands for diverse engagement. I believe that diverse engagement on organizations on our very campus will be key to pulling forward with more student engagement, because we do have students that are very capable. They have just not been seen or have just not been heard. I believe that support is key, and then I believe marketing and communication is other things that we could use to collaborate and use for more diverse engagement on campus. Thank you.
Thank you both. Next question. What is your vision for the future of Virginia Union University, and how will you work to achieve it as SGA president? Starting with Keyshawn Hardy.
Sure. I am running on the platform of Forward. My vision for this campaign is simply straightforward: to assist every student to make sure they thrive and create a campus of unity and opportunity. I mean, this is a campaign based on faith, based on encouragement, and based on integrity. Because one thing that we have to do is push each other forward. That is my vision for this campaign. My vision for you, the students, is to push you forward. Push you as far as you see yourself going. Push you as far as you see yourself going in life. That is my vision, to push us forward. That is my vision for each and every one of you standing and sitting here today, to push you forward and to make sure that we are doing what we need to do as a student government association, pushing us forward. That is my vision.
Thank you. Ivy, what is your vision for the future of Virginia Union University, and how will you work to achieve it as SGA president?
Thank you for that question. Virginia Union University is the first black college in the Commonwealth of Virginia. We are a university of history and legacy. We are also the 39th HBCU ranked for the 2024-2025 academic year. So, as you can see, we have been pushing forward because we did used to be in the hundreds when it came to the ranks. We may be 39th, but guess what? Every single student here is number one, and you are the vision for Virginia Union University. We are the birthplace for the leaders of tomorrow, and the Student Government Association is looking for those leaders, seen and not seen, to help us push Virginia Union University forward. Thank you so much for that question.
Once again, thank you both. Next question. How do you plan to improve mental health resources and overall student well-being on campus? Keyshawn D. Hardy.
Thank you, Brother Monterey, for that question. Mental health and wellness is important. It's important to our students. And so I'll be sure to work with the mental health coordinator here at campus, Dr. McCunchin, and to work with him and to create opportunities and spaces for our students to express their mental health concerns, because mental health is real. And so I'll be sure to address those concerns with him and create a plan thus far to create and push us forward in that area. Thank you.
Ms. Ivy Armstrong Edlow. How do you plan to improve mental health resources and overall student well-being on campus?
Thank you for that question. As many students may know, we have a total wellness center on campus as well as the University College. I feel as if sometimes these resources are not marketed properly. So yes, I feel as if the Total Wellness Center and University College should be marketed properly, because we have Mr. McCutcheon and Ms. Anderson Melvin who will give you on-campus, they're on-campus therapists, and they will sit and they will talk to you through any problem, as well as the student success coaches in the University College. They are not there just to help you schedule your classes. They will help you with any problem that you have in life. In the Pres code, the E stands for empowerment. So as your next Student Government Association president, I will be sure that that E for empowerment is for all, male, female, international student, graduate student, non-traditional. I believe that everyone deserves to feel empowered, no matter if you're having a bad day or the best day of your life. Thank you so much.
Thank you both. The next segment to this presidential debate will be student representation and inclusivity. Question: how do you plan to ensure that underrepresented students are heard and supported during your term? We'll be starting with Ivy Armstrong Edlow.
Thank you for that question. I am running firmly on the platform of Pres Code. That D stands for diverse engagement. And it's one of my missions to bridge the gap between the traditional student here at Virginia Union University and those who may not look like that traditional student. From working more closely with the International Students Association to even working with those non-traditional students and graduate students. I believe that everyone here has a voice, and that collaboration and communication can make everyone heard. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Hardy, how do you plan to ensure that underrepresented students are heard and supported during your term?
Thank you, Brother Moderator, for that question. And so I'm going to piggyback on one of my initiatives, the student advocacy policy and the forward vision. I want to create a student empowerment task force. I'll create a task force that gives students a voice in decision-making and ensuring that your opinions shape policies and programs. I will ensure that in my administration, all voices will be heard. I will be a president for all people. No matter who you are, I will be a president for all people to understand your concerns, also implement that task force to give you a seat at the table and decide on the decisions that we make as a student government association. Thank you.
Thank you both. Next question. If elected, how would you foster a campus culture of respect, unity, and inclusion among all students? Ivy Armstrong Edlow.
Thank you so much for that question. The C in Pres Code stands for campus unity, and that is bridging the gap between students and faculty to foster a united and collaborative community. I believe where one feels seen, heard, and respected, that respect is also earned and given. So, As the next Student Government Association president, I would empower the students to not only go to class and to do their work, but to also reach out and talk to that student next to them. Reach out to your professor to learn who they are. Because if you know who you're walking with, if you know who you're talking with every day, we can create a sense of family. We can create a sense of community. And with that, the respect and the morale comes. Thank you so much for that question.
Thank you. Keyshawn Hardy.
Thank you, brother. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, brother moderator, for that question. Our campus is based off of our faith traditions. It's also based on us being unified as a campus community. When we come together as a family, we are a Panther family. And when we come together and we encourage one another to respect one another, encourage our students to go to class, encourage them to do great, it is imperative that we create an environment that is unified, full of integrity, full of spirit, and that we encourage our fellow students to do what's right, because that's the only thing that matters. And so I will be that president to make sure that we advocate the respect, making sure that we are doing what we are supposed to do for all students. Thank you.
Thank you both. Next question. What actions will you take to improve accessibility on campus for students with disabilities or those facing other challenges? Ivy Armstrong Edlow.
Thank you so much for that question. Diverse engagement in campus unity is something that I stand firmly on and something that I will push in the future administration to come. As someone who does not have a disability and someone who is, more to say, uneducated, it would be my mission to come into this position to educate myself, communicate, and have an open door policy. I would make it my mission to not only seek out and talk to these students, but to make sure that whatever they need on campus and what action that they would like to see happen on campus for them specifically, I would make sure that I would do everything in my power to have that happen for them. Thank you.
Thank you. What actions will you take to improve accessibility on campus for students with disabilities or those facing other challenges? Mr. Hardy.
Thank you, Brother Monterey, for that question. I'll be sure to create administration for all students. Like I mentioned, it is imperative that we do what we need to do as a student body to encourage each student, whether they have a disability, whatever it is, we will not discriminate against them, because I am a president for all people. My campaign will focus, my administration will focus on increasing student engagement across all aspects of campus life. And our university thrives when our students are actively involved in academics and also in campus community. Thank you.
Thank you both. The next segment, we'll be talking about communication and engagement. What measures will you take to improve communication between SGA and the student body? Starting with Keyshawn D. Hardy.
Thank you, Brother Moderator, for that question. One of my initiatives and our policy is to have a transparent communication and accountability policy. The purpose of this is to ensure that SGA is always transparent and accountable and actively responsive to student concerns. I will have open lines of communication, creating regular surveys and town halls and open forums to gather feedback from students on issues that matter to them most. And when we have town halls, I'll ensure that students will come to those town halls so that we can voice our opinion and to make sure that we are acting upon those concerns. And I want to ensure that SGA and the decisions are made publicly available to you. Budget breakdowns, whatever it is, to make sure that we are being transparent and we are being accountable for everything that we do. And also to address the student engagement part. I also want to create more opportunities for students to develop leadership skills through workshops, mentorship programs, and hands-on involvement in SGA. And also to provide additional funding and resources to student clubs and organizations. And also, this is one that is important, civic engagement, to encourage students to participate in local and state and national political processes, fostering a student engagement, student body that is equipped to advocate for positive change. And we don't just need a leader within our walls, but we need a leader that's going to go beyond our walls. Thank you, Brother Moderator.
Thank you. Ivy, what measures will you take to improve communication between SGA and the student body?
Thank you so much for that question. I stand firmly on Press Code. That stands for campus unity, open communication, diverse engagement, and empowerment. That code as a whole is what that question is all about. We would have public meetings. We would market every single class meeting more because this past year we did have meetings with our senators for every class, and the turnout was not the best, so we do believe that marketing is very important. We would also like all the students to know that you do have a voice and you are valued. If you have a problem or a concern, speak up. Student Government Association is all about collaboration, and that is what I would like to bring to the table. A lot of times you hear a lot about Student Government Association, and that is all. Let's hear about Student Government Association and PAB, Student Government Association and the Psychology Club. Let's collaborate so that everyone can feel seen, heard, and valued, and let's let everyone have a voice. Thank you so much for that question.
Thank you both. Next question. What is your strategy for increasing student engagement and participation in campus events and SGA activities? Starting with Keyshawn Hardy.
Thank you, Brother Moderator, for that question. First of all, in order to increase our student engagement, we have to address all the other concerns first, because you can't be engaged if you don't have the resources. And so we have to provide them the resources in order for our students to be engaged. Thank you, Brother Moderator, for that question.
Thank you. Ivy, what is your strategy for increasing student engagement and participation in campus events and SGA activities?
My strategy to increase student engagement would start with empowerment. If every student feels as if they belong and as if they have a voice, they will come out and show up to events and they will use that voice. Being empowered means that you know the power that you have inside of you and you use that power. Thank you so much for that question.
Thank you both. Next question. How will you create avenues for students to provide ongoing feedback about executive leadership's performance and communication? Starting with Keyshawn Hardy.
Thank you. In my recent role and currently role, I served as student trustee. And I also served in my freshman year as freshman class senator. In that second year, I also served as vice president of internal affairs. And I currently serve as student trustee. And one thing that I was big on was transparent communication and accountability to ensure that the concerns of our students were advocated at the board level, to ensure that all the concerns were met at that level. And I also created and will create an open line of communication and open door policy for the Student Government Association, because our students ought to feel comfortable coming to SGA to address their concerns. It is important that students feel comfortable with those who are representing them, because it is important. Thank you, Brother Moderator.
Thank you. Ivy, how will you create avenues for students to provide ongoing feedback about executive leadership's performance and communication?
Thank you so much for that question. To create open avenues, one must first feel comfortable with those that they have to address. With the new administration, I would like to first hold a public forum where they would get to come out and meet their student leaders so that they know who they can talk to when they have problems and who is in the position to help them. From there, I would like to reiterate office hours in the Student Government Association. They have a 9 to 5 policy with an open door. And if you know who your student leaders are and you know where they will be from the hours of 9 to 5, then you know where you can find them to have when you have questions, comments, and even concerns. Thank you for that question.
Thank you both. What role do you see for student representatives in ensuring that executive leadership remains accountable for their actions? Starting with Keyshawn Hardy.
Thank you, Brother Moderator, for that question. So how we will hold the executive leadership and those who represent us accountable, we're making sure that we are staying on top of the decisions that they make, making sure that we are being transparent about the decisions that we make so that all students will understand what's going on. Because if they don't understand the decisions that are being made within our executive leadership, and then we're lost. And so I want to create an administration that has a direct line with university leadership to ensure all of the decisions that are made and make sure that students are in agreement with them, and so that we may continue to push forward as a university. Thank you.
Thank you. Ivy, What role do you see for student representatives in ensuring that executive leadership remains accountable for their actions?
Thank you for that question. The role student government serves in making sure that executive leadership stays accountable for their actions is making sure that we, as Student Government Association, hold ourselves accountable. If we cannot hold ourselves accountable with what we're doing, how do we expect the students to come to us with problems, and how do we expect to hold executive leadership accountable? Piggyback off of that, I also believe that the students need to learn who executive leadership is, and I would make it my mission that they can learn that. And thank you for that question.
Thank you both. Next segment, collaboration with administration. Ivy, how will you work with faculty and administration to ensure that student concerns are effectively addressed?
Thank you for that question. Diverse engagement is something that I am standing firmly on, and I believe that faculty is a part of that diverse engagement. I believe by going to class and by learning and talking to your professors that one can create a relationship. One relationship with the professor can go very, very far. And so with that, if we can create relationships with many of the professors and the faculty, I believe that we can start a collaboration with faculty to the Student Government Association, because currently there is a gap, and the role of Student Government Association president is to help bridge that gap. Thank you for that question.
Mr. Hardy, how will you work with faculty and administration to ensure that student concerns are effectively addressed?
Thank you, Brother Moderator, for that question. I am committed to speaking up for our student rights and concerns. Advocacy is important to a positive campus community, and we can all work together to achieve that goal, whether it is faculty, whether it is staff, whether it is university leadership. We can all work together to ensure that our concerns are heard and that student representation is at the top of our goal. Thank you, Brother Moderator.
Thank you. Ivy, how will you collaborate with the university to address issues related to student balance and well-being?
Thank you for that question. I believe that collaboration is key when it comes to addressing student concerns and when it comes to executive leadership. I believe that joint meetings would be very helpful in keeping us informed so that we can keep the students informed. Also, I believe that public meetings to the students about the things that we have received will also help boost the student morale, because open communication is something that this university needs to keep it moving forward to the next century. Thank you so much for that question.
Thank you. Mr. Hardy, how will you collaborate with the university to address issues related to student balance and well-being?
Thank you, Brother Moderator, for that question. My goal is to create an inclusive and dynamic campus environment where every student's voice is not only heard but valued. And through active listening and open doors and open channels of communication and genuine collaboration, we will ensure that the students' feedback drives the decision-making of my administration and to ensure that it shapes the future of our campus. Thank you, Brother Moderator, for that question.
Thank you both. Next topic, we'll be discussing safety and well-being. What specific initiatives do you plan to implement to enhance campus safety for all students? Starting with Mr. Hardy.
Thank you, Brother Moderator, for that question. And so one of my initiatives is to create open line communication with our campus security to ensure that our students know what's going on and how many officers that we have that are patrolling our campus. And so it is important that our students understand those who are protecting us. They understand who they are and what they are doing to ensure the safety of our university. And also when we have, if elected, those monthly town hall meetings, to have campus security come and be there and support to ensure that our students know everything that's going on, to ensure that we are moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. What specific initiatives do you plan to implement to enhance campus safety for all students? Ms. Ivy Armstrong Edlow.
Thank you for that question. One initiative that I am passionate about would be monthly meetings with the chief. Chief has an open door policy, and he is always around when one needs to talk to him. I just feel like that is not communicated effectively. So I feel as if monthly meetings with the chief will not only help students understand who he is, what his department does, and what he would like to do for you, but it would help us to learn Chief and to respect him, and I believe that would open up that line of communication. Thank you for that question.
Thank you both. Next question for Mr. Hardy. What is your approach to addressing issues like sexual harassment, discrimination, and bullying on campus? And what preventative measures will you implement?
Thank you, Brother Moderator, for that question. So my plan is to create a campus of unity, to ensure that we are doing what needs to be done as a campus community, addressing all of those concerns as Brother Moderator has stated. We have to be a campus of unity to ensure that we are being unified. Discrimination has no place here. Sexual harassment has no place here. All of that stuff that he has mentioned has no place here. We have to be a unified campus to push us forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Ivy Armstrong Edlow, what is your approach to addressing issues like sexual harassment, discrimination, and bullying on campus? And what preventative measures will you implement?
Thank you for that question. Bullying, sexual harassment, and discrimination are very real, and they do not belong on the campus of Virginia Union University. But if that has happened to you, I just want you to know that you are seen, you are heard, and you are felt. Total Wellness is here to support you, and so is executive leadership. If that is happening, speak up and let someone know what is going on, and I will do whatever it takes to make sure that you feel seen, heard, and felt. Because while it does not belong on our campus, I acknowledge that it can happen. So yes, thank you.
Thank you both. Next question. What specific measures do you plan to take to address the rising cost of tuition and fees, and how will you advocate for affordable education? Mr. Hardy.
Thank you, Brother Moderator, for that question. And so as a first-generational student myself, I've advocated for more scholarships and financial aid and to mentorship to support first-generation students and those who are struggling with staying at our university. We will create a policy that increases academic excellence and support. We're supporting our students and making sure that they have the funds that will push them forward. And I don't know if you know today, but we have a program here that is VUU Trios. And that program is for first-generation students, and that also provides a way for you as first-generation students and all of the students and those who are handling and are trying to get through the financial burden of staying as a student at Virginia Union University. I'll make sure that I also have open line of communication in regards to that as well for every student. Thank you, Brother Moderator, for that question.
Thank you. Ms. Ivy Armstrong Edlow, what specific measures do you plan to take to address the rising cost of tuition and fees, and how will you advocate for affordable education?
Thank you for that question. Open communication is key when it comes to your money and where it is going. So I believe to be open about your tuition and fees and what it is all going to. I also would like every student to know that we are a member of the United Negro College Fund and that they will give out scholarships if you will go on their website and apply. Also, as an HBCU student, there are many organizations and websites out there that you can apply for scholarships. For example, the John W. Barco Alumni Association is actually taking applications for a scholarship at the moment. Also, if you're from the 757, there are many Virginia Union University alumni associations that if you just reach out and connect, they will help you with scholarships. Open communication is key when it comes to your money, and it is not something that we play with. So it would be my goal to make sure open communication and you feeling empowered about where your money is going is what I want for every student. Thank you.
Thank you both. Our last segment, we'll be discussing alumni relations and transparency. Ms. Ivy Armstrong Edlow, what concrete actions will you take to improve alumni relations and engage graduates in ways that benefit current students and the university?
Thank you so much for that question. We have a pre-alumni council on campus that is connected with the United Negro College Fund, and I believe more collaboration with these organizations will help us reach out to our alumni associations, because there are thousands of alumni right here in the Richmond area that are just ready to help. So that means that there are even more alumni that are in touch with the United Negro College Fund, pre-alumni council, and they would like to get in touch with you. So I believe collaborating with the very own organizations that we have here on campus would be key. Thank you.
Mr. Hardy, what concrete actions will you take to improve alumni relations and engage graduates in ways that benefit current students in the university?
Thank you, Brother Moderator, for that question. I previously served as the Pre-Alumni Council Vice President to ensure that we have open line of communications with our alumni. I also connect when I prayed at the Legacy Award Scholarship Gala with several alumni. And they just said, well, Key, because you prayed like that, we're going to put some money in your hand. We're going to do something for you. And so alumni are there for you. They've always been there for you. Several chapters are there to assist you in your efforts and to assist you going forward. Thank you, Brother Moderator, for that question.
Thank you both. Next question. How will you ensure transparency in the administration's decision-making process, particularly regarding budget allocation and major policy changes? Ms. Ivy Armstrong Edlow.
Thank you so much for that question. Open communication is key when it comes to your money. So I believe that holding an open line of communication and being completely transparent about what is going on is key. While I do understand that there are things that are confidential and that every student cannot know, I believe that telling what we can is key so that no student feels left out. Thank you.
Thank you. How will you ensure transparency in the administration's decision-making process, particularly regarding budget allocation and major policy changes? Mr. Hardy.
Thank you, Brother Moderator, for that question. So in my administration, I'll be sure to have an open line of communication, make sure that we are being transparent about the things that are going on with our administration, and to make sure that the administration is communicating with the students monthly to ensure that they are aware of the concerns that are going on. Thank you, Brother Moderator, for that question.
Thank you. Ms. Ivy Armstrong Edlow. How can technology be leveraged to enhance transparency and communication between the administration and the student body?
Thank you so much for that question. We are living in an age of technology, so I believe let us use that to our advantage. Executive leadership sends out email blasts all the time. I believe that let us check our emails and use that. Use social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and I believe that from there we could collaborate and every student will feel seen, heard, and valued. Thank you.
Mr. Hardy, how can technology be leveraged to enhance transparency and communication between the administration and the student body?
Thank you, Brother Moderator, for that question. I'll be be sure to make sure that our students are checking their emails and making sure that we are doing what we need to do, making sure that we are aware of the changes, making sure that we are being transparent, accountable, and we are also communicating with the students about the necessities and the things that we are going on in our institution to ensure that they are aware of everything that is going on. Thank you.
Thank you both. Our last question. What final message would you like to share with your fellow students about your candidacy and your vision for the future of our university? We'll get things started with Mr. Keyshawn D. Hardy.
Thank you, Brother Moderator, for that question. My vision is simple: to move our campus forward, to create an opportunity for every student, and to create a unified campus and advocate for a future in which our potential is limitless. With Forward, we are taking bold steps. We are trying to improve our campus community with pushing every student, no matter who you are, forward. Thank you, Brother Moderator, for that question.
Thank you, Mr. Hardy. Ms. Ivy Armstrong Edlow, what final message would you like to share with your fellow students about your candidacy and your vision for the future of our university?
Thank you. Virginia Union University, this campaign is not about me, it's about us. I'll be committed to real results, better communication, more student involvement, and a campus where you feel seen, supported, and valued. Every voice matters. Every concern counts. I've shown you my plan, my action, and my code. It is now up to us to bring Virginia Union University forward. I would want you to vote for someone who's like you, who sat in the seats like you, and who was once you. Vote for someone who would like to bring the code to Virginia Union University. Vote for someone like me. Vote for Ivy Nicole Armstrong Edlow.
Thank you. And that concludes our debate. Give a round of applause for Mr. Keyshawn D. Hardy, Jr. Oh, not Jr. The Ivy Armstrong Edlow. Thank you guys once again. My name is Ronnie Delane Manning Jr. And tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., please vote for either these candidates or all the candidates sitting on the seats today, and look forward to seeing you guys soon. You guys have a blessed night.